Hello there everyone, it's Hexis here with another video. First of all, let me thank you for all your support and encouragement. We crossed 100 subscribers, and if you haven't done already, press that subscribe button. It's free after all. I always say that in War and Order, time is the most valuable resource, and so today let's take a look at some tips that I wish I had known when I started the game 2.5 years ago. These tips involve how to quickly reach from level 1 to castle level 30 the most efficient way possible. And without further ado, let's get into the top tips. So tip number 1, how do you proceed with upgrading your buildings, and also what kind of technology do you need to focus on upgrading first? The most important thing is that don't spend extra resources on trying to upgrade every single building in your castle to the same level as that particular castle level. So most important thing is just focus on the requirement buildings that you need for leveling up your castle. For example, here at level 4, when you go into upgrade castle, the only thing that requires is the castle wall now. So you just upgrade that and then continue upgrading the castle. Once you reach castle level 4, you can also see this growth map here, which is really helpful in the beginning to see what is the requirement for each level of castle, and based on that you can prepare. For example, at level 4 you just need a castle wall level 3, and then level 5 onwards you can also click on it and see what kind of buildings are required. So level 5 is again castle wall, level 6 castle wall, and then onwards 7 you get barracks, level 6 is required as well. So up until level 20, you have this small growth map given by the game itself, where you can then plan accordingly what kind of buildings you need and just upgrade them in that order. And also another thing is that keep this second hammer as well active all the time. You can either spend 200 gems to get a golden hammer for a day, or you can unlock it permanently by buying it for like 5 euros. In here, in my opinion, if you're a player who spends a little bit of money or who likes to play on a budget, this is a really useful investment because it adds up and it will stay there forever. So use the requirement buildings, and after that, from level 20 onwards, how do you know what kind of buildings are there? Well, I'm going to put a link in the description below where you can see all the requirement buildings up until level 30. How do you go about upgrading them? So let's say you have the current requirement building researched or upgraded at level 6 or level 7, and then you are waiting for bigger amount of resources for your castle, maybe at level 20 or so. So in that case, you can still prepare your castle for the future levels to come. Like you can already start upgrading the lower level other buildings that are there to be able to be close enough so that when you actually need them, you don't need to upgrade them or wait that long to upgrade them when the time comes. For example, let's say level 14 castle, you have embassy level 13 requirement, and you already have that. However, you don't have enough resources for your castle, and in that case, let's look at what is the requirement for level 15. It's drill grounds, or so you can already research upgrade the drill grounds until level 13 and wait until your castle reaches level 14 to upgrade that final level. This actually saves time and actually keeps all your hammers running without wasting time, because we need to use our time efficiently each day, and that's how we can grow, utilizing the time at hand in the most efficient way. Now when we go into the technology, like in college, you can already start upgrading technology. What should you focus on in the beginning is the development tree, because the architecture, it increases the building construction speed. That's quite useful in the beginning. Then the physique for stamina recovery speed for killing monsters, and then the monster attack speed, and so on and so on. This tree is very helpful in the beginning for your castle growth, as it helps in speeding up a lot of process. And then of course, you don't want your castle to be left hollow or like a shell castle where you just rush instantly from level 1 to 30, and then your castle is not as strong as it should be at that level. So you shouldn't avoid doing the military technology upgrades as well. However, pace yourself. Like in the beginning, the resource requirement are less, so upgrade them as you go when you can have some spare resources. but don't go crazy until you have your farms up and running. All right, tip number 2, have farms. At least 5 of them are required to have a smooth progress from 1 to 30 for castle levels, because they would be able to support you with resources that your main castle is not supposed to do. What one thing that your main castle is not supposed to do is collect resources. Of course, in the beginning, when your farms are still developing, like let's say you need to get them as fast as up to level 15 as possible. So in that time period, it's okay to collect with your main castle as well. However, after that, it becomes less efficient to collect resources with your main castle. Your main castle is useful for other things instead. So have 5 farms at least. If you need to know how to set up your farm castles, I have another video. I will link that in the description below as well. So have your farms, and then in the technology tree for farms, you just go for resources. And once you have their full support, you can start upgrading your technology as well on the side. So until then, the resources should go to the buildings, because at many levels, for example crucial levels like 10, your altar gets unlocked, your merchant ship gets unlocked, and all that stuff. So it's very important that you get it to that point as fast as possible. Like there are these threshold levels in which really crucial elements are unlocked, and you need to get there as soon as possible. Tip number 3, kill monsters. Never leave your stamina at 100 if possible, because killing monsters will give you lots of things, including your load experience points that are required for development, material chest that comes later on for forging gears, and then also resources. Like it's free resources, you just have to kill monsters, and the higher the level monster you kill, the more resources you get, and that's extra resource in your packs, also for emergencies and also for upgrading castles when you're a little short on resources. One more thing when we talk about monsters is that the lord skills in the beginning, there is no shame in putting them into development. You can actually do that, and there are some quite useful skills here as well, like the building speed, the harvest skill that adds 6 hours worth of output from all your resource buildings into it every 12 hours. And then you just progress down this line to get to the stamina recovery, and then to this point where you can add 50 stamina points every day, and this is your aim to get to before you start putting things into your war tree side. Okay, there is a little bit of recruitment speed here available. However, recruitment itself for troops is not that important in the beginning, because tier 10 onwards is when it really gets strong. So until then, you're trying to rush your castle to that tier 10 level or castle level 30 anyways, so it's not really worth trying to recruit too many troops and then having to promote them or kill them off in the end. So just have enough number of troops to do events in a decent way, like maybe 1 or 1.5 full marches, and that's more than enough in the beginning to do all the events and everything. So even in a recruitment phase for strongest load, you just try to get those gems and save those recruitment speeds for the time when you reach tier 10, and then you can go crazy with your recruitment. One more thing when talking about killing monsters is that the beast skill, in the beginning you don't have anything unlocked. However, once you have your beast at level 3, you can have the first beast skill slot unlocked as well. And there are many beast skills. However, in the beginning, the most important one that you need to try and get is your level up booster skill that increases the XP points that you get, the experience that you get from defeating monsters. And you try to upgrade it to level 10 at least in the beginning, so it accelerates your load level increase as well, and it's quite useful for all this development that we need. So all of this, you need to have them running in parallel so that you don't waste time. It is not just about upgrading buildings and getting your castle to 30, but at the same time, in parallel, you can plan it in a way that your technology level is also increasing without too much spending. And also the star ruins, the new upgrade that has been added not too long ago, you unlock it at castle level 15 as well, so that you can start collecting resources and other things from there as well. Also, I created this castle in a new realm just to show events are there now, like new castles. There are so many events that are now running, like for a new realm, like castle upgrade gets you some resources and some troops, or sage minister. This is quite a nice event where you get really nice rewards for completing certain tasks and achieving certain milestones, and this is pretty easy to achieve as an active player. So there are quite a few events and additional rewards to get from here as well. So try to finish them off, as well as it adds up and gives you lots of extra stuff right off the bat, which was not there in the past. So this is also quite a boost for new players, so that you're able to catch up with the older realms pretty easily, even though you're not spending. Now, tip number 4 is about the VIP points. We need to unlock our final march. You can have total number of 5 marches. The 4 marches and the first normal ones are unlocked in the college by researching this the military tech called Legion, where you can raise the maximum number of marching armies. And the last level is level 3 of Legion, which requires castle level 19, so that you can get your college to level 19 as well. And this comes much later, once you have farms and you have enough resources. So for now, in the beginning, it's not really a problem. And then coming back to VIP points, VIP, once you have it, you are having certain extra boosts and buffs as well, like for each level. And when you go to VIP level 7, you have an extra march queue, and also it starts getting extra stamina recovery, resource output, everything is increasing. And then at level 8 is when your attack boost is added into it as well. So VIP 7, rushing into that point is very important, that you have an extra march when required. And of course, we don't consider VIP activated all the time until we reach castle level 30, where you can unlock that Azurite mine. Until then, it's not recommended to activate it unless you need to hide troops or you're in an event where you need some extra buff. And finally, tip number 5. This is for if you are okay with spending a little bit of money, not too much, but a little bit of money on a budget, like for example $10 or $30 a month or so, or maybe every 3 months whatsoever. The best things that you can get, especially if you consider spending money, is like the growth fund. It's like $10 or €10, where you get until castle level 25. For reaching certain milestone levels, you get extra gems. As you can see here, at level 25 you get 25,000 gems, and this is such a big boost for a castle. Like, that's lots of gems here that you can use just for $10, and this is one of the super useful packs for a growing castle in the beginning, and I would highly recommend getting this as soon as possible, so that it aids you in your growth. And also, another thing that helps, I already told about, is the golden hammer that you can buy. And then the last one is the monthly packs, like the monthly card that you can get. It's $55 now, or €55 now for 3 months, and that's the best value monthly card available, and it gives you 1,000 gems per day and all that good stuff, which is also super useful, and with some extra perks like having the ability to do presets for your gear and everything. So it is also a useful thing to buy. A part of these, there aren't that many things that you can buy with money that are really worth the value of the money that you're spending. So these are the things that I would recommend buying if you are someone who would like to spend some money into the game as well. So that's it for today. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and especially for those new players. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I would be happy to answer all of them. Good luck getting your castle to level 30 as fast as possible, and see you in another video. Goodbye, guys.